The gold-foiled wedding invitation felt like a slap across my face. I stood frozen behind the campus cafe counter, staring at the elaborate calligraphy that spelled out my sister's name in perfect swirls. My hands trembled as I traced the embossed letters, leaving fingerprints on the pristine surface. I'm Zoe, and this piece of paper represented everything I'd just lost. Earth to Zoe, Clayton waved his hand in front of my face. Table 6 needs their lattes. Sorry, I mumbled, stuffing the invitation into my apron pocket. 5 years of working double shifts at this cafe, plus weekends at the library, and nights tutoring rich kids who couldn't be bothered to study, all of it gone in an instant. My phone buzzed. Mum, did you get the invitation? Isn't it gorgeous? Cost us a fortune? Yeah, my fortune. I finished my shift in a daze, mechanically serving drinks and forcing smiles. The moment I clocked out, I drove straight to my parents' house. The same house where, just last week, I discovered my college fund had vanished. Mum opened the door wearing her signature, everything's fine smile. Zoe, what a surprise. We were just discussing the wedding centerpieces. Where's my money? I didn't bother with pleasantries. Inside voice, dear. She ushered me into the kitchen where Dad sat, suddenly very interested in his coffee mug. Lindsay lounged at the counter, scrolling through her phone. $50,000? My college fund. Where is it? Lindsay glanced up. Oh my God, are you still on about that? It's just money. Just money? My voice cracked. 5 years of my life. Every extra shift, every missed party, every scholarship I fought for. That was my future. Don't be dramatic, Mum said, patting my arm with practiced condescension. You're smart. You can take out loans like everyone else. This is Lindsay's special day we're talking about. A once-in-a-lifetime event. Once in a lifetime, I laughed bitterly. It's her 3rd engagement. That's different, Lindsay snapped. Bryce is the one. His family expects certain standards. And my future doesn't matter? Of course it matters, sweetie, Mum cooed. But you're the practical one. You'll figure something out. You always do. Dad finally spoke, his voice weak. The wedding venue required a substantial deposit. So you stole from me? The words hung in the air like smoke. Borrowed, Mum corrected. We'll pay you back eventually. Family helps family. I looked at each of them. Mum's dismissive smile, Dad's guilty avoidance, Lindsay's entitled indifference. Something inside me snapped. You're right, I said quietly. Family helps family. Mum beamed, missing the ice in my voice. I knew you'd understand. Now, about your bridesmaid dress fitting. I'll be there, I promised, already turning to leave. Wouldn't miss it for the world? My phone buzzed as I reached my car. A text from Zara. How'd it go? They don't even think they did anything wrong, I typed back. Those narcissistic want me to hack their credit scores? Despite everything, I smiled. Zara had been my best friend since freshman year, and she was always ready to wage war on my behalf. No, I replied. I have something better in mind. Back in my apartment, I dug through my closet until I found it. A worn notebook labelled Revenge Plan V1, from when Lindsay had borrowed and crashed my first car. I'd never used it, always being the bigger person, always taking the high road. Not this time. I opened my laptop and started a new document. The wedding was being live-streamed for Bryce's international relatives, including several social media influencers and CEOs. Perfect. My phone buzzed again. Mum had sent a group text with a photo of Lindsay's engagement ring. Worth every penny, she wrote, followed by heart emojis. I took a deep breath and began typing. Step 1, record everything. Step 2, let them think they've won. Step 3, wait for the perfect moment. Step 4. Show everyone who they really are. The cursor blinked steadily as I added more details, my anger crystallizing into purpose. They wanted a wedding to remember. I'd make sure no one would ever forget it. I saved the file and closed my laptop. Tomorrow, I'd start gathering evidence. But tonight, I had one more shift at the cafe, because unlike some people, I still believed in earning what I wanted. The invitation sat on my desk, mocking me with its elegance. Soon, those gold letters would spell out something very different. Consequences. To the happy couple. Mom raised her wine glass, beaming at Lindsay and Bryce across our family dinner table. And to our new extended family joining us tonight. I lifted my water glass mechanically, watching Bryce's parents exchange pleased smiles. They had no idea their son's dream wedding was being funded by theft. Zoe, honey, you're so quiet tonight, Mum said, her voice dripping with fake concern. Everything okay? Just tired from work, I replied, stabbing at my salad. Oh, that's right, Lindsay chimed in. Still doing the coffee shop thing. You know, Bryce's company has some entry-level positions. I'm good, thanks, I forced a smile. Besides, someone has to work to pay for their education. The table went silent. Bryce's mother cleared her throat. Education is so important. Our Bryce went to Yale. Speaking of education, Bryce's father added, the wedding venue alone cost more than a year's tuition. But for our only son, nothing but the best. I caught Dad's eye across the table. He looked away first. Zoe's just being practical, as always. Lindsay laughed, waving her hand dismissively. So, low maintenance. Remember when she wore the same dress to 3 different proms? Because I was saving for college, I muttered. What was that, dear? Mum's warning tone was clear. My phone buzzed under the table. Zara. Operation Karma started. Check your email. Would you excuse me? I stood up. Work emergency. In the bathroom, I opened my email to find Zara had sent me specialized recording software. It'll capture everything within 15 feet, her message read. Audio only, totally untraceable. I downloaded the app and tested it, heart pounding. The quality was perfect. When I returned, Mum was showing off Lindsay's engagement photos on her tablet. The photographer costs a fortune, but these moments are priceless. Unlike my college fund, I said quietly, hitting record on my phone. Oh, not this again, Lindsay rolled her eyes. Mum, tell her to stop being dramatic. Honey, Mom leaned in, her voice honey-sweet but eyes sharp. We've been through this. The money went to something important. Family comes first. Exactly, I smiled. Family comes first. Later that night, Zara came over to help me sort through the recordings. Listen to this part, I said, playing back Mum's conversation with Lindsay in the kitchen when they thought I couldn't hear. Don't worry about Zoe, Mum's voice crackled through the speaker. She's too practical to throw a fit. She'll move on. She always does. I know, Lindsay laughed. Remember when I took her car? She didn't even tell Dad. Zara's eyes widened. This is gold. But are you sure you want to go nuclear? Once you do this. They need to face consequences, I said firmly, just once in their perfect lives. Then, let's do it right. Zara pulled out her laptop. The wedding slideshow folder is stored in the cloud. I can plant our video file there, set it to override their precious mother-daughter montage. Won't they check it before the wedding? Not if we time it right. Plus, I heard the ceremonies being live-streamed. I nodded. For Bryce's international relatives, some big shots in Europe and Asia. Even better, Zara typed rapidly. Maximum exposure. My phone buzzed. Another group text from Mum. Reminder, dress fitting tomorrow. Zoe, don't be late like last time. I won't be, I texted back, then showed Zara my screen. Want to help me pick out the perfect outfit for watching my sister's wedding implode? Girl, I thought you'd never ask. Zara grinned. But first, we need to talk contingency plans. What if someone finds the file early? They won't, I said. They're too busy planning their perfect day to check technical details. That's what the practical sister is for, remember? And you're sure Bryce doesn't suspect anything? I thought about his oblivious smile at dinner, the way he talked about his family's wealth so casually. He has no idea his future in-laws are thieves. He will soon enough. Zara hesitated. You know this could hurt you too, right? They're still your family. I played the recording again, letting Mum's dismissive voice fill the room. She'll move on. She always does. No, I said quietly. They stopped being family the moment they stole my future. Now, they're just people who need to learn actions have consequences. Zara nodded, understanding in her eyes. Then, let's make sure this is a wedding no one forgets. I picked up the invitation from my desk, running my finger over the gold lettering one more time. Soon, very soon, everyone would know exactly what kind of family Bryce was marrying into. And this time, I wouldn't just move on. It's perfect! Lindsay twirled in front of the boutique's three-way mirror, her custom silk gown floating around her like a cloud. Mum, are you crying? Happy tears. Mum dabbed her eyes with a monogrammed handkerchief. My beautiful girl. I sat in the corner, phone recording in my lap, watching the show through the lens of my camera. The beading is gorgeous, I offered, playing my part. Right, Lindsay beamed. Each crystal is hand-sewn. The dress alone cost more than your entire wardrobe. More than my first semester's tuition, I thought, but kept smiling. Ladies, champagne! The boutique owner glided in with a silver tray. On the house for our VIP bride. None for Zoe, Mum said quickly. She has work later. I didn't, but I let them assume. Better to stay sharp. Speaking of work, Lindsay said between sips, I can't believe you're still obsessing over that money. It's not like you can't get loans. Actually, I got rejected, I said quietly, pressing record. No co-signers since Mum and Dad used their credit for the wedding. Well, maybe this is a sign, Mum mused, adjusting Lindsay's train. You could take a gap year, work full-time. The timing might be perfect. You could help Lindsay settle into married life. They laughed together, the sound echoing off the boutique's marble floors. My phone captured every second. Zoe's too practical to throw a fit anyway, Lindsay said, admiring her reflection. Remember when she found out about her car? Didn't even yell. That's our Zoe, Mum agreed. Always understanding. My phone buzzed. Zara. Files are prepped. Need access to wedding planner's laptop. The boutique door chimed. Hello? Anyone here? I froze. It was Alec, Bryce's best man. Wrong room, Lindsay shrieked, diving behind a rack of veils. It's bad luck. But Alec had already stepped in, his eyes landing on me. Oh, hey Zoe. Didn't expect to see you here. Bridesmaid duties? I shrugged, quickly pocketing my phone. Actually, he said, could we talk for a minute about the reception playlist? Outside the boutique, Alec led me around the corner. So, I overheard your phone call yesterday at the venue walkthrough. My heart stopped. I'd been discussing final details with Zara. The one about making sure certain people get what they deserve at the reception. His expression was unreadable. I can explain. No need. He glanced around before continuing. Look, I've known Bryce since college. He's a good guy. Comes from old money, very traditional family. If there's something he should know about who he's marrying into. I studied his face, weighing my options. Why would you help me? Because I've seen how they treat you, and because... He hesitated. I saw the bank statements Lindsay left at Bryce's place. The transfer from your account. My phone buzzed again. Zara. Wedding planners meeting at the venue in 30. Perfect chance. I have to go, I said, already turning. Wait. Alec grabbed my arm. Whatever you're planning, be careful. Rich families like Bryce's, they don't just get mad, they destroy people. Good thing I have nothing left to destroy. Back inside, Mum and Lindsay were discussing flower arrangements, oblivious to my return. The orchids are being flown in from Thailand, Lindsay gushed. Only the best for my day. I picked up my bag, the recording safely stored. I need to run some errands, wedding stuff. That's my practical girl, Mum beamed, always helping. At the venue, I found the wedding planner's laptop unattended during her bathroom break. Zara's USB did its work in seconds, embedding our video file deep in the presentation folders. My phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. I know you're planning something. If it's what I think, I'm in. Alec. I stared at the message, thinking about his warning. The weight of what I was planning suddenly felt heavier. Then another text came through, the family group chat. Mum had sent a photo of Lindsay in her dress with the caption, "Worth every penny. Sorry Zoe's college fund. You died for a good cause." Everyone responded with laughing emojis. Even Dad. I typed back a single heart emoji, then switched to Zara's chat. It's done. No going back now. Looking around the empty venue, I imagined how it would look filled with guests, all those important people watching the live stream, everyone waiting for the perfect fairy tale wedding. They'd get a show all right, just not the one they were expecting. I touched the USB in my pocket, now containing the only backup copy of our video. One file to destroy the perfect facade they'd built on the ruins of my future. Worth every penny indeed. Another toast to the happy couple. The engagement party sparkled with fake laughter and crystal champagne flutes. I stood in the corner, nursing my sparkling water, watching Bryce's family mingle with ours. You're doing that creepy quiet thing again, Lindsay sidled up to me. Can you at least pretend to be happy for me? I'm practicing my speech for the reception, I smiled. Want a preview? Something in my tone made her pause. Just keep it appropriate, okay? Bryce's family is very traditional. Oh, I know exactly who they are. I raised my glass. To tradition. Across the room, Clayton, my cafe co-worker who'd agreed to DJ the reception, caught my eye and nodded. The playlist was ready. Zoe! Mum's voice carried across the room. Come help Lindsay open her gifts. I perched on the arm of Lindsay's chair, playing the dutiful sister as she unwrapped present after expensive present. My phone recorded everything. Oh my God, a Cartier bracelet! Lindsay squealed, holding up the red box. That must have cost a fortune. Only the best for my sister-in-law, Bryce's mother smiled. Though I hear you're quite familiar with Cartier already? Lindsay giggled. My first engagement ring was Cartier, but this one's Tiffany, of course. Third time's the charm, I muttered. What was that, dear? Mum's warning glare could have frozen hell. Just said these charms are gorgeous. The party droned on. I played my role perfectly, helping with gifts, refreshing drinks, laughing at all the right moments. No one noticed me, slipping away to the study where the wedding video was being edited. Hey! A voice made me jump. Bryce stood in the doorway. Looking for something? Just needed a quiet minute, I said, moving away from the computer. Big crowds, you know? Yeah, I get that. He stepped closer. Listen, Zoe, I know things haven't been easy with the whole money situation. My heart stopped. Did he know? Lindsay told me you're having trouble with college loans, he continued. I could talk to my father's bank. No thanks, I cut him off. I prefer to handle things myself. Right, the practical sister. He smiled kindly. Well, offer stands. After he left, I let out the breath I'd been holding. Sweet, oblivious Bryce. He had no idea what was coming. Later that night, I found Dad alone in his study, staring at my old savings passbook. Can't sleep, I asked from the doorway. He jumped, trying to hide the book. Zoe, I was just remembering when you helped me open that account. I was 12. You said it would be my future. I wanted to say no, he whispered, to taking the money. But your mother... Save it. I turned to leave, then paused. You know what the worst part is? Not the money. It's that you all thought I wouldn't fight back. Zoe! I walked away, his unspoken apology hanging in the air. Back home, Zara was waiting with takeout and her laptop. How'd it go? Everything's set. Clayton has the playlist, Alex on board, and the video file is buried so deep they'll never find it until it's too late. About that, Zara looked uncomfortable. We have a problem. The backup file got corrupted. The only copy we have now is on your USB. I touched the drive in my pocket. Then we protect it with our lives. There's more, she hesitated. If this goes viral during the live stream, I could lose my tech internship. They're really strict about social media scandals. I'll find another way. No, she cut me off. I'm with you. They need to pay. Just be ready for the fallout. My phone buzzed with another family text. Mom had sent a photo of Lindsay's gift haul with the caption, "Our princess deserves it all." I showed Zara the message. Still having doubts? Nope. She cracked her knuckles. Let's burn their perfect world down. We spent the next hour finalizing details. The video would play during the reception's special moments slideshow, right after Lindsay's father-daughter dance. Maximum impact, maximum audience. 1 week until the wedding, Zara said as she left. You sure you can keep playing nice until then? I thought about all the smiles I'd forced tonight, all the times I'd swallowed my anger. I've been playing nice my whole life. What's one more week? After she left, I watched the video one last time. The evidence was damning. Casual admissions of theft, mocking laughter, cruel dismissals of my future, all caught in their own words. Sweet dreams, I texted the family group chat, adding a heart emoji. Soon, they'd learn that the practical sister had learned a new skill. Revenge. The Caribbean resort took my breath away. Not with its beauty, but with its excess. Imported orchids draped every surface. A string quartet played by the infinity pool, and staff in crisp uniforms scurried around with champagne trays. Can you believe this view? Lindsay twirled on the marble terrace. The ceremony will be at sunset, right when the light hits the water perfectly. Perfect. Everything had to be perfect. Miss? A resort employee approached me. The wedding planner needs the final music files for tomorrow's reception. I'll handle it, I said, patting my bag where the USB sat like a loaded gun. Zoe, Mum's voice carried across the lobby. Stop wandering off. The bridesmaids' luncheon starts in 10 minutes. The luncheon was exactly what you'd expect. Endless bottles of champagne, Instagram-worthy place settings, and passive-aggressive compliments thinly veiled as concern. Zoe, darling, Bryce's mother touched my arm. That dress looks comfortable. Are you sure you don't want to borrow something? I'm fine, thanks. The dress had cost 2 weeks' worth of cafe shifts, but they didn't need to know that. Leave her alone, Lindsay laughed. Zoe's not into fashion. She's our practical girl. My phone buzzed. Alec. Meet me by the beach. Important. Bathroom, I mumbled, slipping away from the table. Alec waited under a palm tree, looking nervous. Bryce's father is asking questions about your family's finances. Someone mentioned student loans at breakfast. My stomach dropped. What did you tell him? Nothing yet. But these people, they investigate everyone. If they dig too deep before tomorrow, they won't find anything. I cut him off. The video plays at the reception. That's all that matters. I'll run interference, he promised. But be careful. I saw your mum talking to the wedding planner about checking all the presentation files tonight. Back at the luncheon, Mum was holding court. Of course, we spared no expense. Family is everything. My phone buzzed again. Zara. Emergency. Had to delete backup file. Virus warning. USB is only copy now. I touched my bag instinctively. One file. One chance. Zoe? Lindsay's voice snapped me back. Hello? We're discussing the reception schedule. Sorry, work email. Still working? Bryce's mother raised an eyebrow. During your sister's wedding week? Some of us have to. I smiled sweetly. We can't all afford Cartier bracelets. A tense silence fell over the table. Speaking of affording things, Mum jumped in, her voice tight. Zoe, dear, remember our chat about not embarrassing us? How could I forget? It's practically the family motto. More phones buzzed. The wedding planner had sent the final schedule to everyone. The video would play at 9:45 p.m, right after the father-daughter dance. Tomorrow's going to be magical, Lindsay sighed dreamily. Nothing can ruin it. I excused myself early, claiming bridesmaid duties. Instead, I met Clayton by the resort's AV room. Everything's set, he confirmed. But, listen, if this goes south... I know the risks, I said, for everyone involved. Just making sure. He handed me an envelope. Here's my backup plan, just in case. Open it if things get ugly. That evening, I found Dad sitting alone at the resort's bar. You look like you could use company, I said, taking the seat next to him. Zoe? He stared into his whiskey. I know you're planning something. My heart stopped. Whatever it is, just remember some things can't be undone. Like stealing your daughter's future, he flinched. I deserve that. But please, if you ever loved us, don't. I stood up. Don't you dare use love against me, not after what you did. Back in my room, I checked the USB for the 100th time. The file played perfectly. Every cruel comment, every admission of theft, every moment of truth captured in their own words. My phone lit up with one last family text for the night. Mum had sent a photo of Lindsay's wedding dress hanging in the bridal suite. Tomorrow our princess gets her fairy tale, nothing but the best for our golden girl. I looked at my reflection in the hotel mirror, remembering all the times they'd called me the practical one, the reliable one, the one who would understand. Well, tomorrow they'd understand something too. Every fairy tale has a villain. And sometimes the villain is the one telling the story. I tucked the USB safely away and went to bed, dreaming of tomorrow's perfect sunset ceremony and the storm that would follow. The rehearsal dinner sparkled with wealth and pretense. Crystal glasses clinked as toast after toast celebrated the perfect couple. I sat at my assigned table watching the show unfold like a well-rehearsed play. And now, the wedding planner announced, a special toast from the mother of the bride. Mum stood, champagne glass catching the light. When Lindsay was little, she always dreamed of her perfect wedding. As parents, we promised to give her everything she deserved, no matter the cost. My hand tightened around my water glass. No matter the cost, she repeated, looking directly at me. Because that's what family does. The room erupted in applause. I clapped mechanically, feeling the USB drive press against my ribs from its hidden pocket. Your turn next, an elderly aunt whispered, patting my hand. Though you'll need to find a man first. Still, no boyfriend? Too busy working, I replied. Always the practical one, she sighed. Oh, such a shame. Across the room, Lindsay held court, with Bryce's relatives, her laugh carrying over the dinner chatter. Oh, you should have seen my first engagement ring, but when you know it's not right. Third time's the charm, someone called out. Speaking of charm, Bryce's father stood commanding attention. In our family, we have a tradition. At the reception, we invite anyone who wishes to speak to share their thoughts. No filters, no rehearsals, just honest words from the heart. My pulse quickened. This was even better than we'd planned. Zoe, he turned to me, as sister of the bride, will you be sharing any special memories tomorrow? Wouldn't miss it, I smiled. I have quite a story to tell. Mum's champagne glass froze halfway to her lips. After dinner, I slipped away to the bathroom, checking my phone. Messages flooded in. Zara. Live stream test, successful. International feeds, all clear. Clayton. Playlist set. Video queued for 9:45 p.m. sharp. Alec. Bryce's family's social media team is ready to broadcast. No going back now. The bathroom door opened. I quickly pocketed my phone. There you are, Lindsay swept in, her designer dress rustling. Hide much? Just needed a break. She checked her makeup in the mirror. Look, I know you're still upset about the money. Upset? I laughed. About having my future stolen? Don't be dramatic. It's not like you can't get loans or whatever. She turned to face me. Just don't make tomorrow about you, okay? It's my day. Trust me, I said quietly. Tomorrow will be exactly what everyone deserves. Back in the dining room, Dad caught my arm. Can we talk? He led me to a quiet corner of the terrace. The ocean crashed below, a reminder of how much this venue had cost, how much my future had cost. Don't do this, he pleaded. You'll destroy us. You already did that, I replied. When you chose her over me. Again. We can fix this. I'll get another loan. It's not about the money anymore. I pulled away. It's about consequences. We're still your family. Family doesn't steal from family. His face crumpled. I'm sorry. I wanted to say no. But you didn't. I turned to leave. And tomorrow, everyone will know exactly what kind of family we really are. Later that night, I sat in my hotel room, reviewing the video one last time. The evidence was damning. Mum laughing about using my money. She'll get over it. Lindsay mocking my sacrifices. It's not like she had plans anyway. Dad's signature on the withdrawal slip, dated the same day they booked the venue. My phone buzzed with a final family text. Mum had sent a photo of tomorrow's seating chart with the caption, "Perfect rehearsal dinner. Can't wait for our perfect day tomorrow." I typed back, "It'll definitely be memorable." A knock at my door made me jump. It was Clayton. "Last chance to back out?" he said, handing me an envelope. "My contact info in case things go wrong tomorrow." "Nothing can go wrong," I said, more to convince myself than him. "The file's ready, the timing's perfect." "I mean for you," he interrupted. "This won't just hurt them, you know." I thought about the years of being the practical one, the responsible one, the one who would understand. They should have thought about that before they stole my future, I said, closing the door. I lay in bed, listening to the waves crash against the resort's private beach. Tomorrow, as the sun set on my sister's perfect day, a different kind of darkness would roll in. And this time, being practical wouldn't save them. The reception glittered like a fever dream. Fairy lights twinkled overhead, champagne flowed endlessly, and the string quartet played as guests mingled around tables decorated with those precious imported orchids. 9:30, Alec whispered as he passed. "Everything ready?" I nodded, touching the USB drive in my clutch. 15 minutes until showtime. The father-daughter dance had just ended, Mum wiping away tears as Dad led Lindsay back to her seat. My sister glowed in her designer dress, every inch the princess she'd always been treated as. "And now," the wedding planner announced, "following the family tradition, we open the floor for special messages to the happy couple. First up, the sister of the bride." My heels clicked against the marble floor as I approached the microphone. The live stream cameras followed my movement, their red lights blinking steadily. When I thought about what to say tonight, I began, my voice steady. I decided to start with a story about family. Mom beamed. Dad shifted uncomfortably. See, when I was 12, I opened my first savings account. Dad helped me set it up, said it would be my future. For years, I worked every job I could find. Cafe shifts, tutoring, library weekends. By 21, I had $50,000 saved for college. The room grew quiet. Bryce's father leaned forward, frowning. But then something interesting happened. I nodded to Clayton, who moved to the laptop. Maybe I should let my family tell you themselves? The screens around the room flickered to life. Mom's voice filled the space. It's just money. Zoe's practical. She'll get over it. This is Lindsay's special day. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Lindsay's face drained of colour. Next came her own voice. It's not like she had plans anyway. She's too boring to need it. The video continued, showing time-stamped bank statements, withdrawal slips, text messages celebrating their theft. Stop this! Mum stood up, her voice shrill. This is inappropriate. Inappropriate? I laughed. Like stealing your daughter's college fund for a wedding? Bryce's father rose from his seat, face thunderous. Is this true? Of course not, Lindsay cried. Zoe's just jealous. But the video played on, showing Mom and Lindsay laughing about how I'd figure something out. Dad's guilty signature on the withdrawal forms, the casual cruelty of their dismissals. Turn it off! Mom lunged for Clayton, but Alec blocked her path. The live stream continues, he said quietly. Several thousand viewers now. Bryce stood frozen, staring at Lindsay. You told me your parents paid for everything. They did, she sobbed. With my money, I finished. Every crystal glass, every imported flower, every perfect detail paid for with my future. The room erupted in chaos. Bryce's mother fainted. His father was already on the phone with their lawyers. Guests whispered and pointed, phones recording everything. You've ruined everything! Lindsay screamed, mascara running down her face. My perfect day! Like you ruined my chance at college? I stepped closer. Karma's funny that way. Mum grabbed my arm, her nails digging in. How dare you embarrass us like this? After everything we've done for you. Done for me? I yanked free. You stole from me, mocked me, called me practical while stealing my dreams. I can explain. Dad started. Save it. I turned to the shocked crowd. The truth is, my family thought being the practical daughter meant I was weak. That I'd just accept their theft because that's what family does. Well, here's what this practical daughter does. She gets evidence. The screen showed one final clip. Mum and Lindsay at the dress fitting. It's not like she'll do anything about it. Zoe always forgives, always understands. Not anymore, I said into the microphone. Bryce finally moved, walking slowly to the centre of the room. The wedding's off, he announced. My family doesn't associate with thieves. Lindsay collapsed into tears. Mum stood shell-shocked as guests began leaving in droves. Dad just stared at his hands. Zoe, Bryce called as I headed for the door. Wait! I turned, expecting anger. Instead, he looked impressed. That was the most badass thing I've ever seen, he said. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. You deserved better. We all did, I replied and walked out into the night. My phone buzzed, messages flooding in as the video went viral. But one caught my eye, from an unknown number. Saw your live stream. I'm a journalist with The Times. Want to tell your story? People should know about family financial abuse. I smiled, thinking of all those years being called practical. They never realised that practical didn't mean powerless. It meant patient. The morning sun hit the university steps where I sat with my acceptance letter. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing since the wedding. News outlets, podcast requests, and thousands of supportive messages from people who'd seen the live stream. "Your story's trending in 12 countries," Zara said, scrolling through her laptop. "The video hit 10 million views overnight." "Any word from the family? Your dad left your mum? Packed a bag right after the reception? Lindsay's holed up at her friend's beach house, and your mum's not answering calls." A familiar voice called out. "There's our viral vigilante!" Clayton and Alec approached, carrying coffee. "Thought you could use this," Clayton said, handing me a latte. "The cafe's been swamped with reporters asking about you." "Thanks for everything," I said. "Both of you." "Worth it?" Alec grinned. "Bryce's family is actually impressed. They're launching a foundation for victims of family financial abuse. Want you to consult." My phone buzzed again. The Times journalist. "Interview at 2 p.m. Your story's sparking a national conversation about family theft." Speaking of theft, Zara pointed to an incoming email. "Look." It was from Dad, with an attached bank statement. He'd transferred $20,000 to my account. "It's from my personal savings," his message read. "First installment. I'm selling the boat for the rest. I know it doesn't fix anything, but it's a start. I'm sorry I was too weak to protect you." "What are you going to do?" Zara asked. "Keep it," I decided. "Use it for what it was meant for. My future." A black town car pulled up to the curb. A woman in a sharp suit stepped out. "Zoe?" She extended her hand. "I'm Rachel from Maxwell Publishing. We'd like to offer you a book deal. Your story's resonating with thousands who've experienced similar betrayals." "I'm not a writer." "You're a truth teller," she corrected. "That's more important." My phone lit up with a text from Lindsay. "They're divorcing. Mum's hysterical. This is all your fault." I showed Zara the message. "Still feel bad?" she asked. "No," I replied, realizing it was true. They made their choices. Now they're living with the consequences. "Miss Zoe?" A university administrator approached. "The dean would like to see you. Something about a full scholarship." I stood up, gathering my things. Guess being practical paid off after all. "That wasn't practical," Alex said. "That was strategic. Huge difference." Another text came through, from Bryce. "Family, lawyers found evidence of other financial misconduct. Your parents could face charges. Need your statement if you're willing." "Do it," Zara urged. "Full accountability." I looked at my acceptance letter, then at the growing crowd of journalists gathering near the steps. My story had become something bigger than revenge. It was becoming a movement. "Miss?" Rachel checked her watch. "The Times interview." "Actually," I said, "I have a better idea. Let's do a press conference. Right here, right now, tell the whole story." She smiled. "Even better." As cameras set up and microphones appeared, I thought about all the practical daughters out there silently suffering family theft and manipulation. Maybe my story would help them find their voice too. My phone buzzed one last time. "Mum, please stop this. We can fix this privately, as a family." I typed back. "We stopped being family when you stole my future. Now I'm taking it back." The dean emerged from the administration building, holding additional paperwork. "Full ride," she announced, "plus a stipend for living expenses. Your story inspired one of our alumni to create a scholarship for students overcoming family financial abuse." Cameras flashed as I accepted the papers. Reporters called out questions. But I held up my hand for silence. "Everyone wants to know why I exposed my family at the wedding," I began. "The truth is, they never thought I would. They called me practical, reliable, the one who would understand." The crowd grew quiet. "But being practical doesn't mean being powerless." Sometimes it means gathering evidence, waiting for the right moment, and making sure everyone hears the truth. More cameras flashed, more questions flew, but I wasn't done. To every practical child out there whose family sees them as a resource instead of a person, your future matters. Your dreams matter, and you have the right to fight for them. I looked directly into the main camera, thinking of all the others like me watching. I lost my savings, but I found my voice, and I made sure they all heard it. The crowd erupted in applause. As I stepped up to the microphones, I smiled, knowing that this wasn't just an ending. It was a beginning.